So if layoffs become something that just happens every year, firm is going to keep getting delayed.
Yeah, so companies always do have an argument that they can file perms in departments or in particular occupation categories where there were no layoffs. But when a company has really massive layoffs and lays off like 5% of their workforce, 10% of their workforce, that kind of thing, I think they get nervous from a political standpoint about defending any kind of perm filing at that point in time because it's so massive. And usually if you lay off US workers, you have to prove that there was like no other similar job in the company that they could be offered or that they could fill. And if you have a foreign worker in a job that a US worker could potentially fill, and you file a perm for them without following a particular process, you can get in a lot of trouble with the Department of Labor. There's also been a lot of settlements handed down around perm recently that are really bad for the big companies and kind of putting the big companies on notice that this is not, that this will be highly scrutinized and that this is not something that they want to play around with. So your company isn't being like mean by not filing perm. If you had layoffs and are working at one of the big companies, there are definitely reasons why that company is pausing the perm. Um, I don't think it's fair to individual immigrants, but the whole system is set up to enforce things against companies. It's not set up to consider the individual situation of the employee and the person. And that's a real shame, but that's the way the system is set up. So yeah, perm, if there are massive layoffs, perm is probably not going to be something that you can rely on. Like you might have a super niche job where the company can move forward with a perm for you. But if you are just like an engineer and there were layoffs of any engineers in the company, it's not going to happen for you.